USA, Elite Total Body Care and Private Label Hair Care Company. So happy Sunday, everybody. I have not done a cook with me in a couple, like a week or two maybe. It's been a little bit, a week or two. So I decided that today is Sunday, so why not do a cook with me today as we would normally do. And today I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different that I found on YouTube, which is fried Cornish hens with some broccoli and some black beans. So we're not gonna be making any rice or that kind of stuff today. So you guys can come along for the journey. So what I've done for my ingredients, of course, we're gonna be using some buttermilk, some Grace hot sauce. We're also gonna be using some dry moon spice, which will be available soon. Some garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and then of course some all-purpose flour. And we'll be using some peanut oil to fry our Cornish hens. So to get them prepared, I'm gonna tilt you guys down so you can kind of see everything that I'm doing. I already have my Cornish hens soaking in lemon and water. You can wash them with vinegar. Hey, Pack. You can use salt and water. You can use rum. Use whatever you choose to clean your chicken. No Larry seasoning salt will be used in this recipe. My mom was up all night looking at you on YouTube. But thank your mother, Gail. And welcome, of course, to my YouTube members. Thank you guys for subscribing to my YouTube channel and, of course, helping to support my channel on a monthly basis. So for those of you that have subscribed, just a quick message. If you haven't already sent an email with your YouTube name and your subscription or membership level so we can send you out your coupon code, please remember to do so by sending an email to help@elitehaircareusa.com. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So in this big stock pot here, I had my Cornish hens defrosting because they come typically frozen. If you guys don't know what these are, they are typically called Cornish game hens. They're just little chickens in my eyes. So I am going to actually cut them in half. I did start off cleaning off any excess feathers that I saw, as you should with basically any chicken. So what I'm doing, I usually just go through, use my fingers, pull off any excess feathers that you might see. I usually try my hardest to get all of the big feathers off because there is so many. I need a napkin. You guys know I like my napkin. So I try to get as many of the feathers off as I can because they don't typically clean them very well. So just do your best. I mean, we're gonna fry them. Of course, nobody wants to eat feathers, but usually they leave a lot of feathers on the wings for some reason or another. So I've actually already cleaned those off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm taking a knife, or you can use your kitchen shears, and I'm just gonna cut mine in half. Most people, when they are frying their Cornish hens, they remove the back or the spine, which I'll do my best to remove most of it, but if you can't, you definitely can leave it on, but I'm just gonna take that part off. This part, you can either keep it and make your own chicken stock, or you can throw it away. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, so I'm just gonna put it there. And then of course, if there's any organs that you need to clean out, now is the time to clean them out, okay? It's very seldom that you see people messing with Cornish hens. That's another reason why typically Cornish hens are in the frozen section of the grocery store, and then you have to thaw them out. Tyson is usually the company with Cornish hens. But if you can get them, great. Usually you can get them at any grocery store, and they are usually frozen, so just be prepared to thaw them out if you do get any. And then, of course, you guys don't forget that our 11.50 sale is going on, where all of our shampoos, conditioners, Leave-in conditioners and care products are all $11.50. So now is the time to stock up. This is the final sale of the year. So the reason why we chose the number 11.50 is because we were going to do a 2 for 23, but like I said before, Shopify, sometimes it's not the easiest to navigate using certain discounts without you downloading a billion apps. So I just decided to just make it simple, and then I just did 2 for 23 instead. I'm sorry, 11.50 each. So you guys can jump on and get whatever products it is that are your faves. Now is definitely the time to get them. And I'm leaving the skin on. The skin is the best part of any fried something, okay? So we're gonna leave the skin on. I know Julian is sitting there looking like, why doesn't she have kitchen shears? I will invest in some at some point. It's honestly not a big deal for me. I like my knife, but I think if I had the kitchen shears, it would be a lot simpler, but I don't. So like I said, you guys, you can use these to make chicken stock. Just boil them, which I probably end up doing that and freezing it in the meantime. You can use your slow cooker and make your own chicken stock. All right, so this is my last Cornish hen. I'm doing 4 of them, so that will make 8 halves. Remember, Cornish hens are small. So if you really think about it, 1/2 of a Cornish hen is 1 full leg quarter. If you're if you're putting it together. Hold on, you guys. Hello. Hi. Give me just a moment, please. Did it open? Okay. So our couch is finally here. All right, so we're gonna take this one off. Hold on, you guys. Okay, so now that we have cut our hens in half, our hens are cut in half, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse them off, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and make our buttermilk solution. So I have some buttermilk. So we'll pour some buttermilk in this bowl. We're gonna use all of that. I'm also gonna use some Grace hot sauce. A lot of people like to use, I forgot what it's called. It's another one, but I'm using Grace. Okay, so we're gonna use some Grace hot sauce. I'm also gonna use some moon spice. Okay, and my moon spice is gonna be the seasoning for my buttermilk. I'm just straining it. This is the dry moon spice, and then of course some pieces will fall through, but okay. So this is the dry moon spice. I'm just straining it because I only want just the actual powder. And a fork. I'm just gonna mix that up real well. And we're gonna soak our hens in this for about 15 minutes. Okay, some people do it for a lot longer. I'm only doing it for 15 minutes. All right, so we're gonna take our hen halves and drop them into the buttermilk. Just wanna make sure that you get coverage on all the pieces. Now, if you don't use the buttermilk, then you can just season them with the moon spice dry and fry them that way. I'm just making sure that they're all covered in the buttermilk. Okay, that's also another reason why we put the moon spice into the buttermilk, so that we actually start that building of flavor along with the hot sauce. If you wanted to put some black pepper, you can put black pepper, which I probably should have, but the moon spice does have a little bit of black pepper in it, so I'm not too worried about that part. You can also put paprika, you can put garlic powder, you can put so many different things in there. So if you want to put a little garlic powder, you can, which I'm going to do it after the fact, and then just kind of mix it up. And then I'm also going to add a little bit more salt, but instead of pink Himalayan salt, I'm going to use some iodized salt, which is a little bit saltier, because remember, this is all the season that we're going to get. So you can see all the spice in there though, so. Honestly, I would make sure to try to add all those spices in before you put your chicken in there, but if you forgot like I did, then you can do it after the fact. So you can see the spices. Okay? All right, so we're gonna let that sit for about 15 minutes. Some people will let it sit for all 2 hours. Some people will let it sit for more. It's your choice how long you want that to sit. It really is. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna take you guys with me for a second because we have to go all the way up these stairs with this furniture. So let's see. Thank you. So it's going right there. Thank you, Joy.
No, hermano. No, 3 días muy loco. Luisa,
Hey.
1, 2 y 3. Ahí, empuja. Ahora es ponerlo ahí.
Did you guys want to slide it up the stairs? You can slide it up if you want to slide it. No, you're fine? Okay. I don't think you'll hurt anything. I think you'll be fine. No, Laura, I was in the stairway.
Dale. Dale. Vamos. Vamos. Vamos.
This is Junie's man cave. That's why we came up here. This is his man cave.
Espérate, dame un segundo. ¿Tú la vas a aguantar ahí? Dale. 1, 2. Un poquito más.
This moment, this is still going.
1, 2 y 3. Dale a empujarla de ahí. No, está arriba, pues. Ah, no, faltan los cables. 2 y 3.
You can just set it right here, set it up here. Anyway, oh, watch your step. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, honey. Right here. Yeah, right here, step. You okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Y'all do this all day? That's nice.
Yeah.
That's intense. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You need me to sign anything or I'm good?
No, I gotta take a photo of the item.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you guys. Bye-bye. All right, let's go back in the kitchen because that's not. Oh, I promised to show you guys my DIY window treatment. It's finally done. So I finished it. So this is the window treatment. I tufted it myself. That's the fabric that we were getting in the store. So I made this window treatment all on my own. So this is one of them. But I still gotta actually anchor it and all that. I didn't do that part yet. And I still got 2 more to make. So that's what I'll be working on. Thank you. All right, so while our chicken is still sitting here, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up my little area here. And I'm gonna go ahead and make my chicken stock. So while that's going, my chicken pieces, which was the 4 pieces that I have from the Cornish hens, I'm gonna wash those off. Okay, and I'm gonna put them in the stock pot. So that's 4 chicken backs. That's gonna go in that stock pot. And then I'm gonna get an onion, and a bell pepper, and some garlic. What kind of- I don't know where it is. There, an onion. And some green onion. Okay, so for me to make my chicken stock, I'm gonna use a handful of garlic. Okay, so some garlic. That's gonna go in there. Some sprigs of thyme. That's gonna go in there. A stalk of a green onion. Okay, I'm gonna clean that off. I just break it. That's gonna go in there. And then I have a baby bell pepper. So the good thing with making chicken stock is this baby bell pepper is going rancid. So I'm just gonna cut off the piece that is actually going rancid. And we're going to add this to our chicken stock. This is the perfect time for you to utilize any veggies that you see that are going bad. So I'll take a baby bell pepper, put that in there. And then I'm gonna take, I have a purple onion. I don't have any white onions. So I'm just gonna use my purple onion in my stock. Remember, this is just a chicken stock that we're gonna make, and then we're gonna freeze it. You can put it in cubes, you can do whatever you want with it. But this is going to be our homemade chicken stock rather than wasting any of these veggies or wasting these pieces of ham that can be used. I'm just gonna cut this in 4. Okay, and I'm gonna drop that in there too. And then I'm just gonna take water and I'm gonna fill my pot with water. So instead of wasting the backs of the Cornish hens, they're gonna be used to make chicken stock. And I'm actually gonna fill my pot because I'm gonna let this simmer. And this is more than enough stock that I can make from these 4 chicken backs. It doesn't have to be, you know, super strong. It's just chicken stock, you guys. That's all we're doing. And then in the meantime, I'm also gonna take a tablespoon of my moon spice, probably 2 tablespoons of moon spice. Put that in there. I'm also gonna take some allspice, as you guys know it, or pimento seed as we call it. Those gonna go in here. And then if you have any bay leaves, you can drop a couple bay leaves in there. Remember, this is seasoning for your food later on. So use it. Like, why throw away the little chicken if you know you have, these chicken backs, this hen back. It's not like you're throwing away the fat. You can even use the fat to make chicken stock if you want. That's your choice. So I'm not gonna put any butter or anything in here because remember, the fat from the chicken back or the hen back or whatever you wanna call it is gonna be oil anyway. So then we're gonna put this on the stove and we're just gonna let that simmer. So I'm gonna turn it on high at first so that it can build up a bubble or a boil, get a boil or whatever. And then from there, I'll turn it down and just let it simmer while I cook. So by the time I'm done cooking, my stock will be ready to strain and freeze in a container. Cool? So I have this whole bag of baby bell peppers that's going bad. So what my plan is today is I'm gonna actually cut those up while we're waiting on our chicken. And then I'm going to freeze them. So that's what we're gonna do next. I gotta clean up my sink first. So instead of my vegetables going rancid, we're just gonna freeze them. We're gonna clean them up, take the stalks off, all of that stuff, and freeze them. That's how you do it. So we're just gonna wash up these. Alex, make sure you're listening for the washer. So in the meantime, did you guys shop the 11.50 sale? Did you guys shop the 11.50 sale? If you shop the 11.50 sale, put a 1 in the chat. Grace, I know you did. You can't help but shop. That's your favorite thing, shopping. All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for shopping this bagel. All right, so I'm just rinsing these off, clean my counter, that kind of stuff. By the time we're done doing this, our chicken will be ready to get dredged and fried. So the pot that you guys just saw me soaking and cleaning the chicken in, that was the pot that I fried the turkey in. So who said a stock pot is not worth something? But the bottom of the pot has a lot of burn marks on it from that high heat of the, from using the, what's something? Using the turkey fryer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try to scrub off some of the burnt stuff on it. So I'm gonna use a Brillo pad and some pink stuff. Which, once again, TikTok made me buy it. You know TikTok always make you buy stuff. It's called pink stuff. I got it on Instagram. I mean, I got it on Amazon. But I'm gonna use some pink stuff first. So just rub a little pink stuff on there. And then I got my little Brillo pad here and just see if I can scrub away some of this darkness off this little stock pot that I've had for a long time. You know, this was one of the pots that I never took this paper off and don't have a plan to do it now. I didn't even really put a lot of elbow grease, so that's actually really good. So I guess our little Brillo pad and pink stuff did some good for us. I think it's time for me to buy another one of these. I got this at Dollar Tree. All right, so now while I'm sitting here waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up these peppers that are going and almost gone. And when I say clean them up, I mean cut off the little rotten areas and then put them in there. Which this is a good way if you buy a lot of veggies and stuff and you don't use them as often as you should. Freezing them is actually great. So you clean them, freeze them. Of course, if it's super bad, you guys, don't save them. But if it's just a little piece that started going and almost gone, or if you buy a ton and you know you're not going to use it all, then you can do it from the beginning. I'm just kind of using up time while I give my chicken some time to soak. Alright, so I'm not going to cut them up. And the reason why I'm not going to cut these up is because when I freeze them, if I go to use them, I don't want to cut them up and then I have to try to defrost them because they're individual, like how they are. So I'm going to freeze them whole like this. So when I do need to use one, all I have to do is break one off, cut it up. So I'm gonna get a Ziploc bag. So in my Ziploc bag, I'm just going to shake off my peppers and throw them in there. And then these will go in the freezer, nice and clean. No rotten pieces, no stalks, no seeds, all fresh, clean. And then they will go into the freezer and freeze. And then whenever I need to get a bell pepper, oh, there we go. Oh, we're talking about the receipts. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing with my garlic here because I know that I'm not gonna use the garlic. If you have a lot of garlic, you can do this too. But if you know your garlic is not gonna last in the refrigerator, Instead of constantly throwing away garlic, throwing away garlic, throwing away garlic. You just freeze it. Wash it really good and freeze it. That's what freezer bags are for. Freeze them. Your greens, your aromatics, whatever. I have some green seasoning that's frozen in the freezer right now. Same thing. Going in the freezer. This stuff away. I have no use for it now. Definitely clean off my counter. We'll get our flour ready in just a moment. I love these. You get them at the dollar store. You can get them at your grocery store too. You can kind of find them almost anywhere now. But I used to always get them from Dollar Tree. All right, so look at that. You can tell there's seasoning. You see it's floating? That's moon spice, dry moon spice in there. You can do it, Jan, you can do it with peppers. You can do it with thyme. You can do it with cilantro. You can do it with parsley. You can do it with any type of aromatic that you know. Sometimes you get more than you need. When you come home, put some in the refrigerator and then freeze the rest. You can do it with green onions. You can do it with any aromatic that you have. Cut off the tops, wash them, clean them, somewhat dry them. You know, when you don't want to put them in the freezer with them dirty. So wash them, clean them, remove all the whatever pieces you don't need. Because remember, when you cook with them, they don't need to be like super fresh to cook with them. Freezing them is preserving them. So it's stopping time. Put them in your freezer. You can have a whole little section in your freezer of just your aromatics. All your aromatics are in your freezer. You will not be buying aromatics every single week. Same thing, onions. For the onions, you can cut them into large chunks. When you're thawing out your meat, put your onion there. I'm waiting for them to tell us when it will get here. So our chicken stock is boiling, so I'm going to turn it down now. So I'm going to turn it down to a low, kind of like simmer. And I'm gonna be honest, you guys. I didn't know about the freezing of aromatics before one of my friends. Actually, I went in her freezer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you got all these things in here freezing. She's like, so what do you do with yours? You throw them away? I'm like, yeah. She's like, no, freeze them when you get them, and now you have aromatics for the whole year from one batch. From one whole batch. So I just turned it down. So we're gonna just let that simmer on low, because you don't want it to like boil down the water, right? So if you just keep it on low, on a slow simmer, and just let it go. You can even put it in a slow cooker and do it. I mean, at this point, I could easily strain it off right now. I have chicken stock right now. So really, you're just waiting for the chicken to actually cook, and then you're done. All right, so let's go ahead and prepare our flour. I've cleaned our counter area. So all I'm gonna do is take a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. Some all-purpose flour. And I'm just gonna open my bag here. I'm gonna take my flour, pour some flour in the bag. Enough flour, basically in your mind, that will be enough for your chicken. I think that might not be enough. I'm gonna just use all of this, just in case. I mean, flour is cheap. You can buy more flour if you really need it. Okay, I'm gonna take some black pepper. Remember, you need to season your flour. So some black pepper. I'd say about 2 tablespoons. A little bit of onion powder, maybe 2 tablespoons. A little bit of garlic powder, possibly 2 tablespoons. I'm just guesstimating, maybe even a tablespoon, you guys. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take my moon spice. Now, because my moon spice is my expensive seasoning. No coffee. I'm gonna measure out my moon spice. So I'm gonna do 2 heaping, or maybe 2 tablespoons officially of moon spice, but I'm gonna make sure that I sift it in. You don't want the hard flakes. Remember, you're gonna be frying this. Okay? So remember, this is going to be fried. Papa, go in the bathroom, go blow your nose. What's wrong with you? You need nose spray or something?
Just all the last night and all today, my nose is stuffing my nose now.
Alright, let me give you some nose spray. Wait. Give me 1 second. Come on.
Okay.
You know why your nose be stuffy? Because you in the spot.
It's so hot.
Yeah, but that's why, Christian. Come on. There you go. Slip on those chappy lips. All right. So we got our seasoning and our flour. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that I mix this up really well. If you notice, I didn't put any salt in here. You can add salt if you want. I did not add any. I just used the moon spice. I did not add any salt. I used moon spice. Okay? I'm gonna put these back. Now, if you want to add salt, be my guest. But remember, I put salt in my buttermilk. I put moon spice in my chicken. I also put salt. I put moon spice in my flour. So I don't want to add more than I need. Okay, so that's our flour. You can see the seasonings in our flour. Let me make sure. Now see them? That's the spices. You can see the specks. You should be able to see your spices in your flour. Okay, and then we have our chicken soaking here, which is good to go. So I'm gonna focus you guys over here. I'm gonna go ahead and use my handy dandy wok. I actually love this thing. So I fry in this as well, and I don't use a ton of oil like a deep fryer. So we're gonna be using this today. And I still have peanut oil left over from Thanksgiving of frying our turkey. So I'm gonna use that. So I'm gonna turn my stove on. Pour my oil in. I poured it too hard. Alex, did the washer stop? I told you to listen out for the washer. He said no. Alright. We have a thermometer. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I know for certain I'm gonna need my tongs. So this is called a candy thermometer. You can use this, or you can use the other kind. But this is good to keep the oil temperature check. And the good thing is it stops the bottom of the thermometer from hitting the bottom of the pot. So we're gonna just make sure that we get ourselves to 350. The Moon Spice, I'm telling you guys. What's the size of the Moon Spice wet and dry? They're both 4 ounces. So the wet, which is really a paste, that one comes in 4 ounces. I'll show you guys. Okay, so the Moon Spice dry will come in a container of this size. This is a 4 ounce container. The Moon Spice wet, which is a paste, comes in a 4 ounce jar. So that gives you an idea. Dry, of course, you will always use less because it's dry. The paste, of course, you will use a little bit more because it's a paste. But even when I'm using the paste, I use a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. That's really a lot. And I'm doing that for a family of 5. So if you're like a family of 1 and 2, you probably use a teaspoon. So the dry one, of course, it will last a lot longer. So this is the size of the dry versus the paste. All right, so a little thermometer here. Is it moving in prison? I hope so. The dry one is good. That's what I'm using. I used the dry one today. I didn't use the wet one because I'm going to be frying. I like the wok because the wok doesn't use as much oil. And it's a good place to fry. You know why? Because it has that bevel. So even when your chicken and stuff is frying, any of the little droppings are not laying flat in the pan. They drop down to the middle of the wok, so then you still have fresh oil all the way around. So I'm just waiting on it to heat up and be ready. I don't know, this one just kind of odd. You know what I just noticed? My thermometer is broken. So we're gonna have to do it the old school way. Who can tell me the old school way to checking if your oil is ready? Let's see if anybody can tell me the old school way. I'm not gonna show you. I wanna see how people can tell if the oil is ready. I got this from the West Indian store. Drop flour in it, a splash of water, or you can use a wooden spoon. Thank you, Brenda. A pinch of flour will work, or a wooden spoon. All you do is set the spoon in there, and if the spoon starts to fry around the edges, then it's ready. It's not frying enough yet. If you put water in any form of hot oil, the oil could be 200 degrees, it's gonna splatter. So yeah, you can use flour too. Definitely you can use flour as well. So everybody was right. So we are gonna use our buttermilk as our wet and then put it into our flour. And then we're gonna let it sit on a rack before we drop it into the oil. Okay, so what I like to do is, because I know I'm gonna have one drying rack, right? Or draining rack. I take a piece of parchment paper and I will put it on one side. And this will be the side that I'm gonna lay my chicken. And while my oil is getting nice and hot, I'm gonna turn it down to medium because I don't want it to be super duper hot where it burns the outside of the chicken before it's even ready. So now I've turned it to medium, and that gives me time to work on my chicken. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Cornish hens. Okay, I'm gonna drain off. Let me push you guys back so you can see. Drain off a lot of that moisture or milk. Just drop it in here. So this is how you get a good crust on your chicken, you guys. If you put it in your bag and then allow it to absorb the flour before you drop it into the pan, you won't have a pan full of flour. Because remember, the moment you drop it into the flour, all of that flour rolls off. But if you put it on the rack and allow the flour and the buttermilk to absorb first, then drop it in the oil, it keeps the crust. So I'm not gonna do them all. I'm only gonna do the number of them that I'm gonna fry all at once. I think I can do 3 at a time, or maybe I should just do 2. We'll do 2 at a time at the beginning, just to be safe. Let's do 2. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit for a second. How you know, you'll start noticing that the flour starts to look slightly wet. That means that it's absorbed, like how you see it like here. Did your mom teach you how to cook? I mean, my mom, my dad, YouTube, trial and error, Martha Stewart, Emerald Agassi, Food Network, everybody. Bobby Flay. I'm a cookaholic. I went to culinary school. I wanted to be a chef. So I just kind of watched everybody. It wasn't really dedicated. I've learned from friends. I've learned from everybody. Just everybody. He said the oil got you in your face. Charlotte, I have so many burns. face burns, neck burns, chest burns, arm burns, everywhere. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna show you guys my chicken here. So you see how it's kind of like it's starting to look dewy? Okay, that means that the flour has started to absorb, so you won't have a ton of flour left over in your pan. That's really what you want. You don't want a ton of flour in the pan, because then all of a sudden your pan starts to, you start noticing that your chicken starts getting darker and darker and darker because the oil is burning the flour. Okay, so see, like in here, it's like wet. Over here, it has absorbed. That's what you want. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll bring you guys over to the pan just for a temporary basis because we don't have to sit here and watch chicken fry. That's kind of stupid. So I'm gonna put you guys here as I drop my 2 pieces. I might do a third, but for now I'm gonna start with 2 to see how much space I have. So you see we don't have a ton of flour. That's what you want. I actually can do a third one, so I'm gonna flour up a third one and then do it. So of course it's not enough oil to cover the whole thing. That's fine. Once I start noticing, and this is also why I turned it down to medium, because I don't want it to fry too fast. I want to be able to make sure that all of the chicken is cooked on the inside. So I turned it to a medium heat rather than a high heat so that I know it's going to be nice and crispy, but also nice and cooked, meaning the chicken is dead. So we'll leave it on each side for somewhere between 7 and 9 minutes. And then we'll flip it over and do the other side, which will only be these hot pieces, and that'll be for maybe 4 or 5 minutes. So that's how we do it. Now I have my extra piece here. So I don't want to put this in. And I know that those are almost done, so I'm going to put it in now. You don't want your stove to be too low when it starts to boil, so just make sure you keep it up there. And then while that's going, you guys can see the chicken stock. So our chicken stock, if you notice, our chicken is basically cooked. Our stock is ready. I mean, you can really just let this boil and boil and boil. The more you boil it, the better it is. So I'm just gonna let it keep going until I'm finished with my chicken. It's on low, so we're just gonna let that go for now. Somebody was asking about the oil. I used peanut oil, which was the leftover oil from me doing the fried turkey on Thanksgiving. So had a ton of peanut oil, which is a great frying oil. So that's why I decided to use that instead. All right, so while that stuff is going, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare or get my other items ready that'll be going with my hens, which is the broccoli and the black beans, which we're gonna do the black beans first. I see my dad's name. Where's my dad? Hello, Father. Okay. Will the recipe be included later? To be quite honest, JD Brown, if you ask anyone on my channel, I've never included a recipe in any of these things that you guys see me making. Mainly because I'm like an impromptu person and I just cook from the heart. So me kind of like saying that I have a recipe like written out, no. I can't, I don't know if that's my expertise. It's just not like my expertise to like write it out. Hey, Dorothy. Does peanut oil have a high smoking point? I just know that it's a good frying oil. I don't know. I would assume so. If it's a frying oil, I would assume so. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you, Father. So that means that I did it right. All right, so once I turn the chicken, I'm going to dredge my next 3 pieces and put them on here so that they can start to absorb the flour. So then when they get into the pan, we are rocking and rolling. Is the wok in my Amazon store? I think it is. I think it is. I think it is. So our chicken is looking good. The chicken is definitely looking good. It's definitely not ready to turn yet though. So in the meantime of our chicken going, what we're gonna do is get our black beans going. Because black beans are, even though they come out of a can, they're good to like simmer and let them do their thing. So normally I would use this pan for my black beans, but because I'm making chicken stock, I can't use that one. I'm gonna use this one for my broccoli. So we'll put that there. I'll use this one for my black beans. So I'm using some Bush's black beans. If you have whatever company, it actually doesn't even matter. Use what you want to use. I think the batteries are dead on this thing. And then I also have some green seasoning. For my black beans, we're gonna use the purple onions, green seasoning, and butter. I'm just putting some new batteries in here. This is my can opener, which is, I think, the reason why it was moving so slow. All right, so I'm gonna put my can opener on. Yeah, my battery was dead. That's why it was moving so slow the other day. All right, so I'm putting on this one. Okay, you guys, so let's roll over here to our chicken. For those of you that don't know, I record all of my videos live. So with that being said, I move around and I'm good. So you guys just know I know somebody's gonna complain about nothing. Okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and turn my hens over. So we can finish on each side. Just like that. And see how oil is nice and clean. That's what you want. You rinse yours first? I do rinse mine first, yes. Yes, I do. Alright. So it's time for me to go ahead and dredge another batch of chicken, because I flipped that over. So I'm gonna go ahead and dredge 3 more pieces. I have a total of 8 pieces, so at the end it'll only be 2 pieces. I do rinse my black beans first. So this is piece number 2. So I'm allowing them to sit and absorb the flour first before I start to fry them. And what I also do is I always take a spoon and just kind of take off this floury mixture here. And I make sure I shake it off. I shake off all that excess flour first. So the reason why I put parchment paper on one side is because I start using this side as a drying rack. So when you guys see the parchment paper and you're wondering why I have parchment paper on here, is because I'm gonna use this side of my pan as a drying rack, so that side I can use to dredge. All right, so this is my 3rd piece that I'm gonna put in the flour. And I wanna show you guys something, okay? So you guys see. You can see the spices on the chicken. You see that? Those are spices, guys. So the chicken is thoroughly seasoned, even though it was in the buttermilk. So this is gonna taste amazing. And the good thing with Cornish hens is they're so small that they're not like those big pieces of chicken where the outside will fry and the inside will be raw. These are so little that they're gonna be nice and cooked and moist. Okay, so we're gonna put those over there. We got our chicken there. And then we'll put our fresh cooked ones on this side, like that. And then on this side, we have our uncooked chicken on top of parchment paper so that all of that running water, flour, you just immediately take it out and throw it away. Okay? All right, good. So, I'm gonna get some crumbs. So I want you guys to see this chicken. You see this? Look at that. That chicken looking nice. And remember, the dark meat is on here and then over here, but it's so little, it doesn't even take much. So then what I like to do at the end is I'll flip them right back over for like a minute, and then I will take them out. Because remember, the wing doesn't take long. The leg in this case won't take long because it was already partially submerged. So this chicken is almost done. So once I take this one out and put these three in, we'll start the black beans. Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look good? Salivating. I like that word. Heaven on earth in real life, yes. And they're nice and crispy. They're floating, so I can tell that they're definitely done. They were defrosted fully, so I know that that part is done. They were soaking in the buttermilk, so I definitely know they're nice and moist on the inside. Hi, Europe. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take them out, and I'm gonna put them on my little drying rack here. Okay, so I'm just gonna set them here. So this side I know is my wet side, this side is my dry side. And I'm just gonna let them drain and then I'll remove them from this so that I can set my next ones there. Oh, thanks, Daddy. See, so we have our three there. And this is our cooked hens. So now I'll turn it around and we're going to go ahead and put some more in the oil. Our oil is still on medium high. And all I'm going to do is take my, hold on. You see these big pieces like these? Take them out if you see any of them frying in there, because that is what burns your oil. Those big chunky pieces, they burn your oil. All right, good. You don't want your meat to be dark. I'd rather my meat fry dark because I fried it dark. And I don't rush the pot either, so I try to like put a piece in there, and then I'll put a second piece in there so that the temperature won't drop and it starts to boil. You don't want the food to boil. And then piece in there. So these ones are kind of smaller. So they're actually covered in the oil almost. So I know that these are going to cook very through. So we don't have to worry so much about that. So we only have 2 more left. So I'm going to go ahead and start my black beans, because once those are done, then I don't really have to do much more. Okay, so I'm going to use this saucepan here. I have a purple onion. I'm just going to take a piece of my purple onion. Then I'm going to turn on. So I have my purple onion, and I'll start some green seasoning. Why uncooked and cooked chicken together? So technically they're not touching the same side of the pan. So let me explain. One side of the pan, which I've lined it with parchment paper, is where the raw chicken was. The parchment paper also tells me how far over the line I've gone, or how far on the rack I've gone, right? I put that there. So then the other side has not touched any form of chicken, raw, nothing. It doesn't have any parchment paper, and it's a big enough space that I can dry or allow 3 pieces of meat to drain before I put them in a pan and take them away. So the raw and the cooked are actually not touching each other. Here's the last piece, right? I'm at home. I'm not cooking in someone's restaurant. Even if I wanted to cross-contaminate several cutting boards, pans, and whatever, it's our food. That's the reason why I don't commercially cook, so I can cook the way I feel like cooking, and however it lands in there is how it lands. But I understand, you don't want to have cross-contamination. So I get the question. No, it's not a bad question. It's a good question. Somebody asks. I don't take offense to it. It's a good question. The good thing is I'm cooking at my house. So if I wanted it to be cross-contaminated, if I want to pet my dog and touch my chicken, I can do that. They did fry up really nicely in the peanut oil, yes. All right, so I'm putting, let me turn this down. I'm putting some butter in my saucepan. And then, it's always going to be a question, you guys. There's no stupid question, because some people don't know how to cook. Some people just ask because they love to challenge. I'm not saying that the person that asked is doing that, but, I'm here for it. I'm here to answer. All right, so I'm going to put my purple onions in my pan here. I have my butter in the pan. Thank you. Thank you guys for all those of you that are complimenting the house, that it's clean and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. All right, so I'm going to just cut up my onions. No, there's no offense whatsoever, baby. That's why I answered you the way I did, because I don't take offense to that. That's just a question. Some people care more than others. That's all. You cool, babe? Trust me. You are cool, Cynthia. I promise you. All right, so I have my onions in there. I'm going to take a tablespoon of green seasoning and put that in there. I'm just going to use this spoon right here that I was using for my chicken stock anyway. Okay, we're going to sweat down our onions. They're kind of big, but it doesn't really matter. We like onions. You can sweat them down, make them nice and translucent. The green seasoning also has seasonings in it, so this is starting the flavor for our food. I'm new to cooking, just wanted to know. I understand I clean faces. There's some other questions. I was always told to not put cooked and uncooked together. So great question. It's a very good question because you technically are not supposed to mix cooked and uncooked. But here's the exception. My cooked is not touching the area that my uncooked was. So if you guys notice on my pan here, I want to show you guys so everybody can have an understanding because it is a very good question. In a restaurant, you cannot do this. But in elite hair care, total body care, whatever, I can. So look at my pan. If you guys notice, all of the nastiness stops right at this line. Okay, so that was the reason for the parchment paper. Number one, it makes it easier to clean up. Number two, it is where I'm able to tell by this line that I have put uncooked meat there. Then on this side, there is no parchment paper. The only thing that's here is the oil from the chicken and a little bit of flour that's splattered in here. But this side has not touched any uncooked meat. So with that being said, there's no cross-contamination because guess what? This side has not been touched at all. This side has. If you guys notice, I even stopped using this to pick up the cooked meat, and I have a second pair of tongs to pick up my cooked meat. So that gives you an idea that, okay, that makes sense. She's just using one pan to do this. Now, if I was in a restaurant under Florida laws of food standards, then of course I wouldn't do this. But the good thing is I'm cooking for my family. I'm not cooking for Tom, Jack, Miss Betty, Joe, her mom, who has a peanut allergy, and her cousin. I'm cooking for my family. So even if I wanted to put it on the same one, that's my business. But I like to explain so people can understand the logic behind it. So I hope everybody understood. Okay. The wok isn't there. Darlene, I'll find one for you because I know which company I got it from, so I'll find it for you. Thank you, guys. You gonna bring your own empty plate? You guys are funny. Okay, so my onions here are going. They're starting to get nice and translucent. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my black beans. I wash my black beans right in the pan. Alright, so I got my black beans. Okay, so I just rinsed off my black beans. I have all my onions, so I'm just gonna throw those in there. I don't like the liquid that comes with the black beans, so I rinse them off. That's mainly the reason why I rinse them off, because it comes with this kind of brine stuff that they use, I guess, to preserve the black beans, so I don't like it. So anyhow, okay, I'm just gonna make sure that I mix up my onions. If you want to put garlic in here, you can, which I think I will. So I'm going to take a garlic out of my little chicken stock here that was going and going. So we got that green seasoning in there. I just took a piece of garlic out of my stock there, which I'm probably going to use some of the stock anyway. Okay. I always like tap that thing at the end of the day knowing there's nothing on it. And then I'm actually going to use my wet or moon spice paste for my black beans. Okay, so I'm going to use, not that much, that's a lot. I'm going to use about that much moon spice paste in my black beans. That's actually more than enough. for that black beans. So that was like half a tablespoon, maybe call it a teaspoon. I'm gonna take some black pepper, which I got my new shakers. So some black pepper. I'm not gonna add much salt. I'll just add a pinch of salt, which is the pinch from the Himalayan salt. Okay. And then just stir it around really well. Mix that moon spice in. Just want to make sure my moon spice is well mixed. And then I'm going to take a little sprig of my chicken stock that I just made and pour that in there. See why the benefit of the chicken stock? Come on now. Come on now. Alright, so let's turn over our chicken here. I'm going to turn over our hens. Good one. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Oh, big watermelon and pineapple. Okay, guys, so we're gonna stir up our black beans. That's it for that. We're gonna keep that at nice and medium. I'm gonna put my top on, if I can find the top for that pan. I never can actually find it. Okay, so. Okay, and then I'm just gonna top that pan. We just turned over our chicken. So with me turning over the chicken, I'm going to go ahead and transfer these chickens to a pan. Let's go use this little baking dish. Not a big deal. So we're going to transfer these that are already done and drained into this pan. Okay, and then I'm going to dredge my last two pieces and get those ready for the oil. So I'm going to go ahead and dredge them and let them sit on my dry rack or my drain rack, whatever you want to call it. Christian, Alex, check the washer. I know you guys are probably asking some questions. I'll see it in just a moment. Let me just get these little pieces of chicken out. Ladies, babies out. We're all done with the flour. So we're gonna leave those there. Yep. Moon spice owners are showing out. All right, you guys. So, taste good. Got our black beans. We have our chicken stock. You guys are so funny with this shade thing. All right, so our chicken is almost ready. I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes. Yep, these are our hens, you guys. Look at them. What do you want husband to get you for Christmas? Jewelry, more jewelry. I'm getting into the jewelry, but he's a jewelry person. So he has really, really, really good taste when it comes on to jewelry. So jewelry is my request for Christmas. I want a new bracelet, necklace, and possibly some earrings. But jewelry is my thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I know for a fact that our chicken is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these couple pieces out. So we're gonna just set them here. Huh? Move it over a little bit, okay? So I'm just draining out the excess oil and then putting my chickens there. And then I'm going to turn this around and put my last 2 pieces inside my pan. If you guys could smell them, you'd be like, whoo. All right, so these last 2 pieces are going to go inside my oil. You moved it, son? Okie dokie. So we got our last 2 pieces in the oil. No rice on the side. We're actually gonna make a little bit of, I call it sweet gravy, but it's like, I'll show you guys. I can't really tell you. We have the black beans going, which is right here. You guys can see the black beans are going. I'm gonna turn it down now because black beans, they don't really take long. You just let them kind of simmer. So that's our black beans. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, so that's our black beans. Those are going. And I just turned it down to a very low simmer. Don't need much more. And then our last piece of chicken is in the oil now. So our last 2 pieces of Cornish hens is in there. No garden salad. We're doing broccoli. We're gonna do some broccoli. Which with the broccoli, all we do is butter, black pepper, and salt. And you put the broccoli in a pan, and that's really it. So the side that I'm gonna use for broccoli is where my chicken stock is. You want that straw? You want that straw? Okay. So this is the chicken stock for you guys that can't see it. I'll put you up higher. Okay. So our chicken stock is done, you guys. Like, it's done. So I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna do with it. Alright, so I have a strainer. You alright? Wait, you touch the pot? Oh, okay.
I remember when I burned my finger on something when I made it at a restaurant.
Okay, baby. Alright, so I'm gonna use a stainless steel pan. You don't want to put this in plastic. It is too hot to put in plastic. I'm using a stainless steel pan and a strainer. Because the strainer is kind of fragile, I'm just using a ladle to kind of strain off all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you guys why I don't want to throw this away just yet. I'm going to show you guys in a second why. I'm going to repurpose my veggies, so just wait. And all I used was the 4 pieces of back that I cut off from my Cornish hens to fry them. So I'm going to show you guys how repurposing at its best. This is our chicken stock, homemade chicken stock. So I'm using the stainless steel pan because we're gonna allow it to cool in this before you can freeze it. All right, I think I can lift this with one hand. And remember I said we're not gonna add any butter, we didn't add any oil, we didn't add any of that. And it already has oil from the fats. All right, so we're gonna let that sit there. This is liquid gold. Liquid gold. Homemade chicken stock. And look how rich it is. This is how you know when your stock is nice and rich. Okay, well seasoned, nice color. When you guys think about it, usually beef stock looks like this. The sale ends January 1st at 11:59 p.m. All right, so we're gonna put this to the side and let it cool in the pan. Stainless steel is always better than plastic, you guys, so remember that part. Okay, our black beans, we're gonna go ahead and put that to the side. Our black beans are definitely done. Okay, they can simmer and simmer and simmer. That's fine. Let them just simmer in their own juices. And we also put some of the chicken stock in our black beans. So our black beans are done. I'm just gonna put this on the stove, kind of to the side. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my broccoli real quick. This is nothing fancy that I'm about to do. Okay, so all I'm doing is we use the crowns of the broccoli. We don't use the stalks. Okay, so I'm just cutting my crowns. That's it. All right, so I'm gonna wash these. I cut them up after I wash. I wash them after I cut them. Okay, just a little bit of water at the bottom. Some salt. That's pink Himalayan salt. And then some ground pepper. And then some butter. And then I just mix it around. Take the top cover. Put my pot cover on, and then this goes on the stove. And I put that on nice medium. Okay, you guys. So remember I told you we were going to be doing something with the veggies that we had left over from our chicken stock. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do with it. So I'm going to take a paper plate and my peppers, some of my onion. Remember, these have the flavor of the chicken. Remember that, okay? Hold on. I'm gonna take one of those bay leaf, some of the garlic. I don't really need the chicken because that don't serve a purpose now. Hey, that shit hot. Boy, it's hot. Hot, hot. I'm gonna take another piece of garlic. This part I don't need. You can give that to your dog if you want. All right. So you guys see all of this that I have right here? I'm not gonna cut them up. I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm in love with those salt and pepper shakers. They're actually in my Amazon store, you guys. They are in the Amazon store. They were a gift to Chris. Yes, they were a gift to me during the housewarming. And then the first one broke, which I still have not thrown it away. I'm keeping it as a backup just in case. So then I ordered a new set in the colors of the kitchen. So it just kind of ran with it. Waste not, honey. We don't waste. I'm real frugal. All right, so my last two pieces of chicken are in the pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to move these. Let me get this out of here. I'm gonna move these over here to my well done section. So they're gonna sit over here so that these can drain. So these are my darkest pieces, which you can tell that the oil started to finally be well done. It's fine for me. I'm not that, but you don't really care. Okay, so those are my last two. Those are my darkest two pieces. So I'm gonna turn off my fire, and then I'm gonna move my oil because I'm gonna use this area, which you'll see in just a second what I mean. So we're gonna remove the oil from here, and I'm just gonna slide it back here on a so my oil is moved. These two pieces will drain. Yeah, those are my two darkest. Hence the reason why I like to start with the heat not so high, because I know what can happen. All right, you guys. So I have a couple more aromatics that I need to cut up. You'll see why in a second. Well, I think I can bring you guys on this side for now because I'm still not done cutting them up. So we're gonna just move a little bit. Let's move. And then we're gonna take a little piece of ginger. Broccoli is going. Okay, so the other items that I'm gonna be using is some ginger, a tomato, some pineapple, and some carrots. So what I'm gonna do is my tomato, I'm just gonna cut off the head of the tomato so I can wash it off. My ginger, all I'm really gonna do with the ginger is just smash it. So I'm gonna smash it whole, just like that. My carrots, I'm only gonna use maybe a handful of carrots. And then my pineapple, I'm gonna show you guys something. So if you guys don't know, this is the core of a pineapple, okay? That's the core of a pineapple. When I buy the pineapple at Publix, they usually sell it with the core still intact, right? So all I'm gonna do, because we're not gonna eat the pineapple, I'm just gonna use the pineapple to flavor my sauce, because I'm gonna use it to make gravy. So this is the core. We eat the other part of the pineapple. This part typically people look at as unedible, but this is actually the sweetest part. Where do you think the pineapple gets its sweetness from? The core. So look, it's hard, but it's good. So I don't want it to taste like pineapples. I just want the sweetness of the pineapple. So we're gonna actually use the core in our sauce along with our ginger, along with our tomato. And then we're gonna repurpose these little aromatics that we had earlier into the sauce as well. So we're just making a gravy, you guys. That's all, a quick gravy. I'm only gonna use half of the tomato actually. I don't need the whole thing. I don't need any more onion. None of them actually eat the aromatics. So I'm only using it to make gravy. And then for our ginger, my knife is small, but I'm gonna use it to it's small, so I gotta use it in the best way I can. See how repurposing at its best, you guys. All right, good. So I'm going to turn on the stove. And I'm actually gonna be using the same pan that I used to make the chicken stock. How easy is that? How easy is that? So I'm gonna use the same pot that I used to make my chicken stock that already has all of that flavor embedded around the sides. I'm using some of the aromatics from the chicken stock, and then I'm just gonna add some fresh stuff to it and then make a sauce. And I'm also gonna use ketchup because I know my dad hates ketchup, but ketchup is nice. Find a little ketchup here. little bit of moon spice. So we're gonna use the paste moon spice ketchup. And then we're also gonna use our green seasoning. You know my dad hates ketchup, you right? You guys know that, right? I'm using it because I know he does not like it. No, I'm just playing. Ketchup makes the food taste nice. I don't care what my dad said. He don't like to put ketchup in anything. I put ketchup in everything because it's nice. All right, so I want to make sure you guys can see. There we are. Our broccoli is going on strong. This is good. So I'm gonna take a little bit of butter because butter makes everything better. Let me find what I'm gonna use to actually mix up my good concoction going on here. Here we are. All right, so I'm gonna take some butter. In my butter, I'm gonna go ahead and put my pineapples, my ginger, my tomatoes. Because remember, these are still slightly raw. Not slightly, they are raw. Let's call a spade a spade. They are definitely raw. Now I'm gonna take some green seasoning, put that in there. You guys can you guys see what I'm doing? Let me bring y'all closer. Let me bring you in. There we go. So we have our pineapple, we have our ginger, we have some tomato, we have some carrots, some green seasoning, and some butter. It is not going to taste like a ton of pineapple, you guys. That's not the point. The point is that we want that slight sweetness and that slight tanginess. So it's going to balance it out. And I like pineapple flavors. I guess you can, some people will call it even sweet and sour sauce because that's what the pineapple does. It gives it that sweet and sour kind of taste. Once I see my tomatoes are starting to like break down or my carrots start to get slightly translucent, then I'll go ahead and add in the aromatics from earlier. Ginger also goes great with fried chicken, you guys. So if you're making a gravy, don't be afraid to use ginger. Ginger gives it like a fresh taste. That's what you want, freshness. All right, I'm gonna add back in my aromatics from earlier. My stove is on high, okay? So we're gonna let all this go together. And we're gonna use these babies to make gravy. So just let that go for a second. And guess what I also saved, you guys? I saved my bag of flour just in case I need like a little slurry to make it thick. I still have my bag of flour from my chicken. You guys got like 1,000 comments on here that I'm missing. My flour, I'm gonna put it in the Amazon store. So you'll see it in my Amazon store after the video. Someone said you're going on vacation. Are we coming along with you, please? If not, I'll watch the rerun. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no. All right. We bend you guys down. So there's our good stuff. We have our chicken stock that we made earlier. So what I'm going to do is add some of our chicken stock in here. Remember, I'm making gravy, you guys, so you'll see what I mean in a second. And the pineapples would not be eaten. It's just for flavor. All right, so while it's bringing itself back up to a boil, we're gonna season our gravy. By season, I'm gonna take my moon spice, which that is a lot. That is a lot for this. That's enough. So that's my moon spice. That was a lot of moon spice just now. For what I'm making, I don't even need that much. And remember, for the sauce, they're not gonna really eat these things. That's just flavor. You can strain it off or you can leave it and just kind of sauce around it. And then, who can tell me what that is? Infamous ketchup. Boy, ketchup, man. I love ketchup. And then some pepper. That's the sauce of the food. A little salt. If y'all don't know, y'all know I love ketchup. My kids hate ketchup, but I love it. Alright, so I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. I might not even have to add any flour to this. So I might just let it do its thing like this, but I'm gonna taste it to see if I need to add anything else. I think I need to add some spice. I feel that I need to add a little spice. And by spice, I'm gonna add a half, not even a half, quarter cup full of Scotch bonnet sauce. Whoa. So you want the sauce, the gravy to get thick. It might get even thicker than this, but I'm trying to see. If not, I'll add just a teens of flour. Just have moon spice on it, so I'm gonna take it off before I try it. All right, let's see. Actually, that's really nice. Broccoli's done. That sauce is actually nice. Hey, listen, the sauce is actually really nice. I don't really have to add anything. You can use cornstarch, you can use flour. I mean, I have both. In this case, though, guys, my gravy is actually thick enough that I don't have to add anything. I'm not adding anything to it, actually. See, that's why it's good to reuse things. That is exactly why. Let me show y'all. Here, look. Let me show y'all when I say it doesn't need thickener. That is actually thick enough. You see how it's like bubbling? It's bubbling like a thickness. So I'm not gonna add any more. Don't feel like I want to add salt. Not really. No. No salt. Do I feel like I need to add some more ketchup? No, no, I won't add any more ketchup. Oh my God, I don't fit. Boy. So yeah, sauce done. Yeah, that's actually really good. Oh, so our food is finally completo, and we've done it in 2 hours. 2 hours. It didn't really take us a lot. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think we did it? FedEx your plate? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and plate. You guys ready to eat? Huh? Okay. Christian, if you're not ready, it's fine. I know you just had that milkshake. Thanks, Dad. All right, so let's go ahead and plate. What? Give me the cutting board, please. Gluttonous picking. It's in the dishwasher. Your greediness is ridiculous. I'm just hungry. You're just hungry. You ain't just eat. Smoothies are good for you, but it's not food. That's not food. Your shirt is backwards, honey. Okay. Go fix your shirt. Alright, so we got our broccoli. We got our black beans. Hey, John, I'm gonna need your stand over me. Go sit over there. You're not gonna stand over me. That's what I'm gonna do is stand over me. Alright, so let me. Huh? Okay. So these are our hens. So you guys can see how nice and crispy and cooked they are. Don't they look nice? That's how you know they are done. Okay, so we're gonna put those there. Those are done. Watch, look, we can't sit over in front of me. You couldn't sit over there, not in my face. Alright, so let's add some broccoli. So we have our broccoli. Then we have our black beans. Dum, 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 dum. You want to do it? And then we're gonna take our sauce, our gravy, and just strain it off the top. And we have Cornish fried hens black beans, and broccoli. Now, doesn't that, look at those hens, and they're super tender. Yeah. Did you read the box?
This one.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Do we have vanilla ice cream?
No, girl. Give me the paper plate, please. I don't know why this looks like a
You
Tony.
don't eat pumpkin without ice cream.
Adriana, that is not ice cream. That is whipped cream.
No, you eat ice cream.
I don't know. Look, I don't even have to put pressure on the meat. Can you guys hear how crispy it is?
I'm walking with that.
Walking like what?
Like he's hurt, Mom.
Something wrong with you? Oh, so we are going to the cabinet for? What are you going in there for? What happened? Go and use a wipe and blow your nose. Get in there.
No, it's this one.
Mm-mm. Look, guys. This, can you stop moving? Listen to how it sounds. Come. Go ahead. What do you want me to do? What does it say on the pack?
It's just put in the oven.
Just like that? Does it say remove it from the wrapper?
So you don't want wrapper in your food, Mom.
Does it give you instructions to remove the wrapper?
This is baked pie and baking sheet in center of the oven. Pie is fully baked when outside edges of filling is firm and center is slightly dune.
Preheat oven, remove.
Oh! Sorry.
Use a knife and you're gonna remove it from the side by the metal tin.
Okay.
All right, so these are our two slightly bun up piece, but they're definitely cooked. Ooh, indeed, those are definitely cooked.
You should have on the side, Mom.
Like you're trying to, yes, you should see like a little, like even if you find a little opening with a little bubble, so you can just on the side. Because I don't want it to explode. See, I have this little piece right here. You see how it just went down? Here. So this is a little thigh. Look at the little thigh. So I'm just pre-cutting them in half just in case. Y'all see how that is? Crispy. Put it inside the box. It's not cooked. How you ate that?
The box.
Oh, okay. Go on now.
Tastes good.
Tastes good.
I put it in the brush, Mom.
Go ahead. I'm not sure though. Just knock first. All right. And then a little bit of broccoli because I know these kids, they seem to like not want to eat vegetables. So that's why I make black beans because I know that they'll eat the black beans. But you see greenery, it's like a fight. I have to like stand over some of them, specifically Adriana. Eat all this broccoli, you hear me?
Did you want?
Sure. Alex, you eating?
Just you know.
Alex?
You know.
You guys see how thick the gravy got? That's why I was like, I'm not gonna add any flour because I did not need to add any. You want more gravy? Or you okay? And then the kiddos and myself. Make sure you eat what?
All the walking.
And all the what?
Beans.
Good. You can play today and see what happens to you. And then we have Alex, Christian. You're not ready to eat yet. And then yours truly. And we have extra chicken left. How's the chicken?
It's a good one.
It's really good. Is it better than Grandpa's? Did you have to like, we have to think about the answer.
No.
You heard, hold on. You heard me. I said, is it better than Grandpa's? Syria? It's not better than Grandpa's? No? Are you serious? Not even close.
No.
So what's the difference? I used his seasoning. That's all that matters.
This is just better.
His is just better.
It's more crispy.
It's more crispy. Yeah? You're lucky. There's children out there with no chickens to eat. There's kids out there that wish they had a Cornish hen, a Cornish hen, or even a Cornish hen to eat right now. So you're lucky. I need some juice. Since it tastes better than, mine tastes better than Grandpa, reward me with some juice. Pour it up. Give me a little ice, please. Thank you. Or did you say that serving your man food on a plate is respectful? I was wondering if she heard that from you. Cheryl, that's just how it's always been. My mom, Junie's mom, Junie's dad, my mom, my dad. The man is the king. He's the head of the house. Like, we can eat out of paper plates. He does not know what it's like to eat out of a paper plate. He's never eaten out of, my father don't even eat out of paper plates to this moment. No. The man is supposed to have the biggest plate. He's supposed to get his food first. His food is supposed to be on an actual plate. So yeah. Hi, what kind of little bit of pour the juice. Pour the juice. Pour more juice in the cup. Add a little water now. Put a little water in here. Real water, not that fridge water. So yeah, I mean, that's just, I don't know, that's just how I was taught. You know, like, we can eat out of real plates too, but we have tons of plates. It's just, we prefer the paper plates. It doesn't require a lot of dishes. But for him, you will never see him eating in a paper plate. Not with me, you won't. Mm-mm. You will never get a paper plate from me. Hmm? How much water you put in there?
Enough water.
You barely dropped water in it. Put the water in there.
I said put water.
It's still super sweet. Put more water.
Okay.
That's sweet. Why is it so sweet like that?
It's cracked pineapple.
Add more water to that. He'll drink out of a plastic cup. He's okay with the plastic cup. But like, it's not even that he won't eat out of the paper plate. I just don't serve him in a paper plate. know, everybody's different. You guys can do it the way you want. That's just how I was raised. Like, I've never seen my mother give my father anything smaller than our plate. His food was always the first to get shared out. It was always in this humongous casserole dish. Even when the girls share food, they know that, right? It's just respect. You know? No different from the man should open the door for you. Respect. There's certain things that they're supposed to do for you. What's my take? And the crazy thing is, it wasn't even like, oh, he was like, oh, I need to eat on a real plate. It naturally has been this way going on 11 years. January 21st will be 11 years. It's been this way 11 years. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, I am all done cooking, so here's the fam's food. I hope you guys enjoyed today's live cook with me, which was fried Cornish hens, a new recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I am about to enjoy it. So yeah, if you guys have not already done so, go and shop the $11.50 sale, which all of our hair care products and body care products are $11.50, excluding flat irons, bundle kits, and hair masks. But everything else is $11.50. So hold on. Hi, thank you. If you haven't already done so, go check out the website. If you also have not signed up for my fetch, please go to the first link in the description box. That takes you to my link tree. You guys go check out the different irons, check out the different products. Everything has been restocked. Of course, some things are not out of stock because the sale launched yesterday. Which I did not tell the world until today. So my YouTube family actually got first dibs to the sale before anybody else. So you guys got a chance to get everything you guys wanted. The body care site, same thing. Everything is $11.50 or less. And I think that's kind of it. Yeah. So we're gonna sit down, enjoy our food, woosah. Oh, my chicken ain't better than Grandpa. You sure eating it to the bone, sister. Don't rump so. Daddy. She said my food tastes better than yours.
No, I didn't, Mom.
You better say yes.
No, Grandpa tastes better.
I bet you won't get another piece of food in here. I bet you won't eat another thing of food in here. Cheryl, I have to get a different TV. So the TVs in our house can mirror. The one at the shop just cannot do it. I've tried everything. It's just I gotta get a new TV. So you guys go and use my fetch code so I can get the referral points so I can buy an Apple TV.
Mom, it should have airplane on it.
Not the one at the shop.
Oh.
It's not working. I know, all of you guys can work. Mine's at the shop, I think it's just maybe a year too old.
Oh.
So it's not working. It's not picking up the fact that I even downloaded the app and tried to do it. I gotta ask my kids. I'm really more savvy than my kids on electronics. I know everything.
Grandma and Grandpa.
I am not grandma and grandpa. Yo, they try to age me like that. I am not grandma and grandpa. I am their child.
Grandpa uses emojis. Grandpa uses emojis.
Yes, he does. Who set up Grandpa's Apple Watch?
I did.
Exactly. Who set up Grandpa's laptop?
I did.
Exactly. Who set up Grandpa's Alexa?
You did.
Exactly. And who sets up all of his other electronics?
You did.
Thank you. Go ahead and put the thing in here. Grandpa said he'll send you some food. Don't worry. I don't need the app on the cell phone. The cell phone automatically mirrors, but the problem is the TV is not picking up the fact that I'm trying to mirror with it. So I can understand the TV probably is just old as heck because all the other TCL TVs that are Roku TVs as well in the shop, those are slightly newer than mine's, and I can mirror to all of them, but I can't mirror to mine's. So that tells me that it's just not, it doesn't have that capability or something's wrong with it. But I've had the TV a long time, so that's why I'm like, okay, TVs are like super cheap. I'm just accumulating my fetch points so that I don't drop below my threshold, and then I'll just buy a new TV. I only need a 32 inch. It's not big enough for me to put anything bigger in there. So that'll be my next thing to get is another smart TV. That's all. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Is it crispy?
Good. It's good.
It's okay? I'm telling you, it tastes better than Grandpa's.
It does. You haven't even tasted Grandpa's yet, Mom.
Yes, I have. It tastes like chicken.
No.
You're eating it though.
'Cause it's
You
not
usually don't eat it to the bone like that, but you're eating it to the bone. Let me see one of the bones.
It's fried chicken.
Let me see one of the bones. Let me see one of your bones. Ha! That one that clean. And you
It's fried chicken.
and you skipping over every veggie in the plate. Pick up the fork. Eat some vegetables. You need to swallow the vegetable. What happened? You can't eat the vegetables? No vegetables for you?
I'm tired of vegetables.
You don't even eat the vegetables. You better eat them today. Eat some broccoli now.
I did eat the broccoli last time.
No, I had to force you to eat that broccoli. I'm gonna stand here and watch you eat these vegetables. You're gonna eat them today. I asked you if you wanted rice. You said no, so eat the vegetable.
Every day now.
Good. First it was you have vegetable every day. Now you have rice every day.
Now it's supposed to be have curry.
Go on, man. Put that chicken down. You can't eat no more chicken until you eat another scoop of broccoli and another scoop of black beans. It's not that hard to eat, Adriana. Anything that resembles something healthy, you never want it, but you will suck down the fried chicken. Look. You thirsty? Because you cannot drink a smoothie with your dinner.
Okay, can I get chicken?
No, you need to eat the black beans.
I ate this one.
No, you ate a piece. That is the problem. You ate a piece. So I'm going to stand here and I'm going to watch you eat these vegetables. I'm going to play it. You are the first child I've seen that does not like to eat vegetables at your age. You're about to be an adult soon. You better eat. You don't like vegetables? Why?
Like corn.
Corn is a bad carb. Why you don't like vegetables? You just don't like it. So you want me to make you some carrots?
It's still a vegetable.
Good. You're gonna find one that you like. You want a salad?
I like salad.
You like salad?
This one.
Good. When you start making your own money, you can buy salad and eat. Until then, you're going to eat what I made. They're salty.
No, not really.
No, they're not really. They taste nice, don't it? You just don't like anything that resembles a vegetable that's healthy for you. But let me go out there and say I'm gonna buy you some Takis or hot sausage or sunflower seeds. You will eat them though. Good. Watch. Hi. It's not time to eat chicken yet.
A scoop.
You ate one scoop.
The scoop of beef.
Half of it needs to be gone first. If you at least eat half, I will give you.
Get soggy.
All right, go and eat one piece of chicken. That piece too big. Get a small piece. Get a smaller piece. Watch out. Eat the chicken.
You have to watch me go.
Watch out. She will eat the chicken though. Watch her. And poor braces, they just be in sadness. If I turn my back and you move from this counter and I see any of those veggies in this trash, I'm gonna whoop you. But
Dead serious.
I'm watching. Look. Keep trying to scoop them off the side of the plate. They're not going nowhere. They're gonna go on the counter and you're gonna eat them. Watch her. Even, it's just an onion, Adriana. Watch her. You know, you're just weird. Oh my God. Wow. All right, go on, eat the chicken. Wow, Adriana. Fine. If you want salad, you can use. Well, no, you're already in a deficit. You still owe me like you owe me what, $69. When you pay off your $69, then you can buy salads to eat with your dinner.
69.
When you pay off your $69.
Okay.
Okay. Until then, what you gonna eat? Whatever I make. Good. That's good. She's not unique. She's picky. It's like I have to stand over her and watch her eat the vegetables. Or if I turn my back and come look at the garbage can, they think they're slick. They try to scoop it down the side like nobody can see. I was a child once. They think that I was born big for some reason or another. My mom, their grandma, used to like to give us vitamins every morning, and we learned how to store them on the side of the couch. She'd give them to us, and we'd watch Pokemon. And all we do is when we go sit on the couch to go take the little vitamin, we take it as she's giving it to us, and we just stick it to the side of the couch. So I know my child. I know these games. Nasty. You just eat nasty. Look.
Like BC. Someone taking my chicken.
Yes, because you're weird. That's why. All right, you guys. No more. I'm done laughing. I'm done laughing. All right, I'm gonna go actually eat my own food. I'm hungry myself. Now, from sitting here watching her eat hers, I let mine get cold. But I will talk to everybody later. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the entertainment. You had to open your mouth. See, my mom started doing that when she found the couch full of vitamins after a while. All right, you guys. I'm outie. Peace.